Good morning, CSF Nation. We hope you've had a wonderful start of the new year for 2025. It is the last week of January as this Saturday begins the month of hearts. That is February. Hopefully, temperatures will start to, well, not just a little bit, but until then, we do have much more cooler temperatures coming our way this week. Also, be sure don't forget to mention this one. Happy Lunar New Year to all of our snakes. May you get fortune and plenty of fortune and good luck throughout this year. There will be plenty of events going on throughout the CSF Nation to celebrate the Lunar New Year, and we will get more into that in this week's 7-day forecast, sponsored by Written or Foods. This week, we'll get off to another cold and windy start. Temperatures, especially on Monday, will get up to the upper 50s by the afternoon. The Hollenberg will be in the lower 60s by the evening. The frost advisory from last week returns once again this week and will begin from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. affecting Palmetto Valley, the shoreline along Ados Bay of Pacific City, and Lineart Hills close to Royale. That morning chill will be repeated throughout this week. There will also be a freezer watch specifically on Thursday. You guys know what to do before you begin your morning commute this week, so I don't need to tell y'all twice. Now, this week we'll see increasing clouds and cloud cover starting on Thursday, and plenty of clouds throughout the CSF Nation on Friday, bringing more chill temperatures as well as possible wet conditions as we head into the first day of February on Saturday. Now, of course, one more thing to add is Wednesday, the beginning of the Lunar New Year. So, of course, there's the fortune for all of our snakes out there throughout 2025. There will be Lunar New Year events beginning on Wednesday with temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s and lows to the mid to upper 40s. And that concludes this week's 7-day forecast for January 26th through February 1st, and sponsored by Griffin Whole Foods. Fresh produce and low prices that make you roar. I am Marisa, the lead producer and weather girl from Makini in the morning, and we would like to wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Until next time, goodbye.
Cute, sexy, and fun. You're watching CSF Nation Zone, WMK TV, Channel 90.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. Far too kind. Thank you. Right on time, yeah, right on time. All right, right on time. Good morning, CSF Nation. I'm Makini, art streamer and illustrator. Welcome you to another episode of Makini in the morning. Hope you all are doing well this morning. Want to start off with the 7-day forecast. Thank you, Maricela, for that. I really appreciate that. And we're going to do something a little interesting today. I'm going to bring this up real quick. So, catching from our show yesterday. Let me go and bring my screen up real quick. Here we go. And so, catching from our show yesterday, we are doing a this Thursday is Skyla's birthday, and we're gonna basically scratch everything that we did yesterday, and we're just gonna start over from scratch, pretty much. Start over from blank, pretty much. So we're gonna come up with a brand new look. As promised, Skyla will be having a brand new look for this Sunday's Makini Live. So what we're going to do this week is get a full design going, get a full redesign going. I got a couple of ideas, and it'll be kind of a fun, design study. Now, the first, what we're going to do in the first 25 minutes is we're going to get a base sketch going, and we're going to get a line art, and we're going to get the line art going. In the next 25, and I want to thank Power. I want to thank Power. We're going to react to Clownfish TV's video in the next 25 minutes. But the first, let's just get ourselves warmed up. Let's get a design going. I'm going to go through kind of my process a bit, because I know with a lot of my girls, it is. I always try to kind of like up myself. I always try to kind of like one up myself, or try to do better, try to aim for a better direction and such like that. But it is Skyla's turn, because January 30th is her birthday. How do I set it up? So, for those who are new to the chat, with my girls, basically, I base their birthdays on what date did I finish the first drawing of. For this one, this was the first draw. This was the first completed drawing I did of Skyla. This was back when I had my Twitch channel, Makini Type R, and this was done on January 30th. So that's how I mark it, as January 30th being Skyla's birthday. Same thing for the other girls as well. For all my Bree fans, it's February 21st next month. It's February 21st. It's Bree's birthday on March. Is it? No, it's August 11th, 2018. Actually, that's not August 11th. The first completed sketch. Let me go back to 2018. I think it was March that I did the full redesign. Where is it? Because that was a re-sketch. Where's March? Where is it? Should have it here. Where is it? I cannot find it. What the freak? I cannot find it. Okay, here we go. March 14th. March 14th is Saya's birthday, which is 6 days before Assassin's Creed Shadows. 6 days before Assassin's Creed Shadows. So March 14th, and then last and most certainly not the least, Kiki's birthday is on July 24th. So just remember that. January 30th, February 21st, March 14th, and July 24th. So I know each of the 4 girls has a huge fan base there, and I want to do something to celebrate this time. So first up, Skyla's birthday is this Thursday, so we're gonna do something special for her. So anyway, that's what this redesign is gonna be. Anyway, guys, we got 9 people watching, 10 people watching. We'll probably have a bit more coming in this show, but it is Monday, so for Monday I go 3 hours. And if you guys can do me a special favor, regardless if you're watching here, watching on the way to work, smack that like button and make it jiggle, guys. I really appreciate that. Smack the subscribe button and make it jiggle. Let's go double or nothing 6K before the end of the year. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and say hi to everyone in the chat first, and then we will go ahead and jump right into it. A blank canvas this time. All right, Power. Good morning. Power's excited. Difficulty. Good morning. He saw the thumbnail. Look at all those improvements. And he says the 5th one is peak, and he's referred to this one. He's referred to this one that I never got to use, by the way. This was part of a set of designs that I never got to use for the reboot, basically. I do like this one, though. I do like this one. But I did reuse it for one of the emojis, though. But in my personal opinion, I'm going to have to top this. I am going to have to top this, though. It's going to be tricky. It is going to be tricky, but I'm probably going to try to top this, though, in person. So she is probably the most subtle of the 4, honestly. But Power is bringing up, thank you, Power, for bringing up the Clownfish TV video. We're going to react to that in about half an hour. First 25, I want to just catch up with you guys, and let's get some art done. Catch up with you guys. Let's get a base sketch ready. Let's get a base sketch ready, and let's go and kick it. So, Afro, good morning. Neo J, good morning to you. Levi, good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Sean, good morning. Hope you enjoyed yesterday's show, Sean. That was a lot of fun. Especially, I would love for you to tune into the Assassin's Creed Shadow segment, because I go off. As we go, me, Ryan, Kitty, and Mama Bear go off on the gameplay. Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass, good morning. Keely Chow, thank you for the Roll Tide and the Loki Raid. Appreciate that. Woo, we got a lot of people here. Emerald, good morning. Curly Girl looks like Ice Spice. Sorry if I'm saying, oh my God. Don't you dare bring up Ice Spice. Okay, Benny, good morning. I'm going to say Skyla is not. I'm going to get some Skyla. It is not. Assassin's Creed 2 Black. Okay. All right. Let's break this down. Of course, as always, we do it by Pomodoro clock, which you guys can see here. We do it by the Pomodoro clock, which you guys can see here. We're going full. First 25 minutes, second 25, all of that good stuff. And like I said, in the next 25, we will react to the Clownfish TV video. Okay? So just the first 25. So just hang on tight. Just hold on tight. And the best thing, Penny, the best thing is, if I can open up, I got Epidemic Sound working again. So that means I can run the full stuff. Perfect. Okay. This is all royalty free. So we are good to go. Let me know if the music is too low or too high, okay? All right. First 25. Let's do this. Okay, so we're going to start from the very beginning again. Okay, we're gonna start with the rough one more time. Really want to lay down a really strong, a really good pose though, a really good one. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. So I'm just gonna sketch. I'm just gonna sketch the body first, and I am using. Let's use Lineart. Let's use our Lineart brush, legendary here. Here. Peace side for victory. That could work. The kind of the mindset that I'm having. The kind of the mindset that I'm having is I want to play a little bit to more of an. I want to play to a little bit more of an older look for Skyla, like an older looking makeover. And I think probably one of the biggest things that I always kind of go back to, or kind of fall back to, is we're cutting her hair. She's going to go for a bob haircut this time. That's what I'm kind of mindset is. That's what kind of my mind is going for. Here. Here. It's kind of funny, it's got a peace sign. Here. Let me know if the music is too loud. If it's too loud, I'll turn it down. Assuming that this could work. I want to try to embrace more of the slimmer figure. Slim but curvaceous though, because it's like athletic fit for Skyla's design. Skyla's always had kind of the more. Skyla's kind of always had more of the. Skyla's always had more of the. Skyla's always had more of a more subtle. Like, she doesn't stand out as much. She doesn't stand out as much compared to Kiki, Saya, and Bree. So Sky has been kind of like more into the more to the background a bit. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn it up a little bit so it doesn't overpower my voice. All right, I'm just gonna turn it up just a little bit. Okay, there we go. So that's kind of the idea here. But as far as outfit goes, I'm actually kind of going Hoyoverse. I kind of want to go a little Hoyoverse because I'm kind of inspired by Jane Doe of Zenless and Yulon of Genshin for this one. So here. And like I said, we're going to go until I think this pose could work. Just needs to be a standard character profile. Needs kind of more of a standard character profile, standing pose, basically. That's kind of the idea I'm going for, basically. Kind of, I want to keep it, the same about, basically. Keep it kind of in the same kind of format that I did with the last redesigns. We need to keep a consistent shut up. Shut up, Sean. Anyway. Shut up, Sean. Anyway. Here. Let me turn the hips just a little bit. Turn the hips just a little bit more. And I want to extend the leg out this time a bit as well. I'm not Jay, but do the best I can. I'm not Jay, but I'll do the best I can though. Here. I'm sorry, Sean. I'm sorry, Sean. You're not dictating my channel, okay? No, you're not. We're not doing that, Sean. You don't get to decide, okay? You're not here. You're not here. You're in no position to try to alter to make decisions for my stream, Sean. Don't even try that. You know what? Let's do it. No, we're not, Sean. We're actually not going to, okay? We're actually not going to, okay? Nice try. And my rough sketch is like getting very messy right now, so okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we'll start from the eyes. We'll start from the eyes first, and then just kind of move our way down. Okay. Okay, for this one, we're gonna use hard round. Okay, so we're gonna do it this way. The rough sketch is still a base sketch. Base sketch. Here, we stream Screamer. Oh, totally. We gotta make it to 2020. We gotta make it to 2026 first, though. But yeah, totally. Let me see. But that's about a year off anyway. So. Also, I forgot to mention, so I used the song that you guys liked from my Friday video, and unfortunately it got claimed. Not eligible. So the outro from yesterday's show is completely cut out. If you guys listen to it live, you guys don't want to see it. But unfortunately, because people were asking, difficulty was asking about that track that I used for the Friday video. That I'm going to use as my intro. It's going to use as my theme for the commentary videos moving forward. But yeah, I kind of played a good chunk of it, and yeah, it got claimed. So I was like, damn. It got claimed. So yeah. So I think I'm able to kind of get away with it in the commentary videos because my intros and outros are like really short, quick. Mhm. Yes, you did. You did ask for it, and yeah, it did get claimed. The stream did, not the video. So I think it kind of falls right under that small, under 5 second rule, under 5 second rule, so it's not long enough to get claimed. Maybe not, but okay. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to this. So one thing that fascinates me about because bro said because Emerald said Emerald brought up he likes bob cuts, and I am considering like I said for Skyla, I'm considering. In fact, let's do it this way. Let's go back to the current design, right? Let's go back to the current design, right? So let's do. This is what I'm thinking. Here. Something similar to Yilan from Genshin Impact. You should love her like bobbish hairstyle. Don't extend the bangs out too much this time. Bangs out. It's not even close to like a pixie cut, basically. Yeah, but I thought it'd be interesting to drop the. Let's see if that works. You can drop the long hair this time, the long ponytail that she usually has. However, she is keeping the highlights. She's keeping the highlights though. It'll just be a good kind of way to kind of play more with that. Here. 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 Outfit is tricky because I was really thinking of, yeah, that's how it is, you know. It wasn't eligible. Unfortunately, it wasn't eligible for revenue sharing. So it's kind of. So I try to stay away from some stuff that is eligible for revenue sharing. I'll just let it go because mess with it. It doesn't mess with anything. Yeah. Yeah. One thing very noticed about Skyla's design. One thing that's very usual about Skyla's design is that although she is Japanese, She was born with freckles. She was born with freckles in a way. And I tried to kind of like look it up. So the only thing that I could think that would be possible is if Skyla has to have some European blood in her to give her kind of like that like unique complexion where she's born with freckles, basically. So she might be half and half, huh? She might be mixed all along. Okay. So let's the outfit. Okay. Outfit.
2025. It is
Oh,
the
sorry. Okay, so the outfit. So this is kind of what I had in mind. Start drawing here. Here. I'm thinking full top. I'm thinking not completely sleeveless this time. We'll start by going completely sleeveless this time to kick things off. Kind of reminiscent, in some ways, a little reminiscent of Brianna's earlier designs in a way. This is where I'm gonna try my best to like veer off in a way. So this is where I'm gonna try my best to veer off in a way. Here, visible bra in mesh, but have an intricate necklace, basically. Kind of taking it from here. 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 Probably want to push the breast up though. It looks so bad. I know it looks bad. Let me do this again. I'm getting ideas. Like, I'm trying to formulate this idea for an outfit. Like, I really am. Because like this. Sorry, I'm looking through my references again. Here. 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 I want to keep a slim. Trying to keep a slim look to her too. Slim athletic look to her. Really intellectual. I'm a house guy at heart. Here. What I was thinking is here. But have arm warmers basically. I don't know how well this is going to work though. Here. This is where we're going to veer off though. This is where we're going to veer off basically. This is where we're going to kind of veer off a bit. What was it? Skyla's not large like the other girls are, so it's not as large. So it's just pushing it up. That's pushing it up for her. Here. Here. Like I said, something a bit more on the older side of this one. It's very poppy too. I will admit, it is very pop-like as well. A little more pop-like, a little less, I guess a little more pop-like, a little less casual. But I'm trying to figure it out. What I'm thinking is we can make it like I'm trying to figure it out as we go along. I am trying to figure this out as we go along. Here. Here. Sticking out pie. That is a relatively classy shirt. What, my design or the one on the left? Sorry. Let's look at the chin as well. And break. Okay, let me finish this first. Let me just finish this first, and then we'll take a break. Okay, set 5 minutes. All right, short break. Let me finish this real quick. All numbers we're thinking of here. And I don't know. I don't. If that doesn't work, let me see. What do you think? Because like lower skirt. Because I'm thinking lower skirt like this. I'm thinking have short skirt with chains around it. It may not be as streamlined. This one may not be as streamlined though compared to previous ones. But I want to work with them this time. So this will be the first one. This can be the first one. We play with the second one though. I'm still considering. Like I'm still like. Oh, stop. Hold on. 1 second. Okay. What do you think? You don't think the first one? I know it's. Let me know what you guys think of this first one because I want to do a second binding. Good morning, Christian. I like the idea of like, because I really do like the idea of taking the going off the shoulders this time, not going sleeveless basically. I like the idea of going sleeveless. It's just how to. I don't know. I don't know. The face is meh. Other than that, it looks nice. Okay. Okay. Difficulty saying the face is meh. Other than that, it looks nice. Okay. Okay. I got another one. Okay. So this will be one. This will be big sketch one. I got another one though. So let's do. This is taken from. This is taken from a Nikkei outfit, actually. This is actually taken from a Nikkei outfit. I would like to see if I could spruce it up a bit, streamline it a bit though. Although this one, she does have a lot of, although in this idea, she does have more, there's more clothing though. You know that I'm saying there's more clothing. So, she got the same procedures in Kids Josh Walt face up. Okay. Let's try this. Let's try this again. Okay. Okay. Wait for this stuff to drop. I like the idea of chocolate bean. Okay, I like the idea of chocolate being used somehow. I like what? Okay, that's interesting. Interesting. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm gonna turn as promised, as promised, as promised, we would react to Clownfish TV for the next video. So let me start the 25-minute clock and let's do this. Because I'm really interested to see what's going on here. Wait, thank you, Power, for bringing this up. Thank you, Power, for bringing this up. So.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about art Twitter being insane, absolutely insane. We have a couple examples here. A recent example is that some artists who, out of the kindness of their heart, decided to do sketches for people, and the people are very demanding when it comes to their free sketches, and they're actually bullying them in the DMs. We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk.
This is the kind of shit. This is that kind of ish why I don't do requests anymore. This is why I don't do requests anymore. So yeah. Well, to be fair, I moved on from requests at this point. But yeah, this kind of ish is why I don't do requests anymore.
About the AI art witch hunts, which a lot of other people, I guess, covered this a week or two ago. But people are literally getting bullied off of Twitter for posting their art that people are trying to say is AI art, and
But sometimes it's not.
Sometimes it's not. A lot of times it's not. They don't even know what the hell they're looking for or looking at. And it is absolutely insane. So I'm like, are we going to get to a place where you have to show yourself drawing every damn thing before you put it online? And I'll tell you what I think the actual root of it is. I think the root of it is crabs in a bucket, and people are trying to knock out potential competitors. Is what I think it's all about.
Well, I don't know. I just think it's stupid because you know what? Here's the thing. I'm not as big on AI as you are, but I also realize it's not going anywhere. And I don't see why, if people use it as a tool to speed up art, they can't use it if they want to. If they want to use it, no one's saying you have to buy it. No one's saying you have to like it. But if they want to use it, they're not replacing anyone. They're just assisting themselves. Who cares?
Yeah, that's before we get into that, I know I do sometimes the doofy AI thumbnails or whatever for.
Okay. If it's not blatantly obvious, I'm going off the cuff here. Yes, I use AI, not for my art, but for the YouTube channel. You guys already blatantly know that the voices that I use for Makini, the voices that you hear for Makini live and Makini in the morning are clearly done by AI. And that's really the only time that's really the only time I'm using AI anyway, is for the voiceovers, just because I went that direction, just because I think it brings a lot more life to not only my mascots, but also just brings a lot more character to my channel as well. I thought it'd be a really cool trick, something really fun, especially try and make it sound as natural as possible. It's not perfect. You heard the 7-day forecast. It's not perfect, but I try to record as clear as possible. I try to record my voice. I do multiple takes as clear as possible. I don't use text to speech. I never use text to speech. Well, I don't. Yeah, for the most part, I don't ever use text to speech. It's all clear from me, and I really do try to make it sound as clear and concise as possible. The AI it can't pick it up. Sometimes some words just cannot pick it up all the time. But yeah, it's blatantly. You guys already knew that. You guys already knew that. So, but we do play along. The thing I appreciate about you guys, I'll admit, is that you guys know that the voices are AI, but yet you guys still play along with it. You guys still go along with it. It still immerses you into the channel. I appreciate, but I do appreciate that. So, and I have so much fun recording those voices as well. So you guys already knew that from day one. But my stance will always be, I think AI can be a great tool. I think it can be a great tool to help artists, to help creators, but it should never be the primary tool. It should never be your primary tool or such like that. I would rather, like I said, I use In terms of art, though, I do use AI generated art or just AI generated pictures for ideas, just to bounce off ideas, basically. It's just to bounce off ideas. Everything else, I draw on. I do have a because Pinterest has been so overloaded with AI generated content now. I just set up a folder of just like stuff that I was like, okay, I could probably get an idea for a drawing, or probably get some ideas for this, that, or the third. But do I use it for actual drawing? No. What you see is basically what you get here, and I think I'm getting a better grasp on the bob hairstyle that I'm going for with Skyla. I think I'm getting a better grasp on the bob cut. Sorry about that. No, it's taken from the bob cut hairstyle is taken from Elon of Genshin Impact. It's like I like that. It's like really, I think it suits Skyla a bit more. And plus, I wanted to do, like I said, this is for Skyla's redesign. I wanted to go something a bit more, I guess you say a bit more adult, a bit more older, mature looking version of Skyla. She's always had this, like, coming to the back. She's always kind of have been like the background of the rest. She's kind of the leader. She's not the leader of the group, but she's the one that kind of starts it off. She's always, when you go listen to a Makini live intro, she's always the first. She's always the first she's the lead off, basically. Lead off to kind of set everything up. So that's kind of done by intentional. Okay, so let me continue. Sorry, a little off tangent there.
Or disposable YouTube videos. My ideal use of AI is to help the artist make better art faster, but they still have complete control over it, and they're not lifting off of anybody else.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
no,
Like,
that's a no. No.
Speeding up your inking, speeding up your coloring, fixing perspective, things like that. I don't have a problem with that.
Flatting for you or something like that.
Flatting for you. I don't have a problem with that. I think that is actually a very good use of AI, helping you make changes faster. I'm not talking about, just ham-fistedly putting some prompts in and it generates a waifu or something, and then you're going to throw it on a t-shirt.
And then you're going to say, it's my art.
No,
I mean,
like,
that's why Disney got in trouble, because one of the things they had up in the Haunted Mansion was a Redbubble piece of art that was AI generated.
Yes.
And it was a bride. And now the Kim Irvine, who actually was Leota Toombs' daughter, said they were just doing it as a placeholder. But I was like, you're Imagineering. You guys couldn't come up with something that you just got caught.
Disney. It's current year Disney. You expect current year Disney to be creative? I mean, come on. So let's talk about this. Things are changing, but we've been covering art Twitter for a while because things get really stupid over there when it comes to like skin tones and.
Let's be honest here. Clownfish, Hero, Rev, you name it. They've been covering art Twitter for years at this point. Muhammad Agadi covers the TikTok side, art TikTok for years. It's stupid. Art Twitter, let's be honest. Art Twitter is stupid. Art Twitter is dumb. Art Twitter is retarded. Okay? Hey, let's be blatantly honest here. Art Twitter is toxic.
Proper representation. They will literally get the damn eyedropper out and tell you you're not drawing things correctly. And
but it's okay if they dark wash.
They will literally get the eyedropper out, give you a freaking chart, tell you it's not dark enough, and call you racist for it. I am dead serious about that. Okay, don't believe me? Just look up the. Don't believe me? Look up the Nessa situation. That's all I'm gonna say. Look at Nessa. Don't believe me, because people will, and they still do that, by the way. Let's also bring up the whole Dan. Let's go bring up the whole Dan situation where it's okay for once. It's okay for it's not okay. If you whitewash, if you draw a dark skinned character with a little bit of light complexion because you can't understand, because you don't understand lighting. But it's completely totally fine to just completely blackwash entire anime characters and get praise for it, and get praise for it. Like, no, screw off. Anyway.
Things. That's fine.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, 99.9% of these people will never work professionally. They will never work professionally. They don't have, I mean, I'm not just talking skill wise, I'm talking attitude wise. They do not have what it takes to work professionally because they're so preoccupied with what everybody else is doing and not paying enough attention to their own selves that shows an attitude. For me, it just shows an attitude that, like, yeah, you're not real serious about this, or you would find better things to do than go on a witch hunt and try to track down people who are potentially using AI art, or, oh my God, the character's skin tone's not dark enough.
Unless they were like competing with you for something and beat you, why does it matter?
Because these people think, I'm convinced of this. These people think if they knock out other artists, that somehow they're gonna get the call someday and get the job.
That's not how it works.
Not work.
Oh, so like
that's not how it works. I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to explain that in clear. That's not how it works. Okay, you can't just be like, oh, we're just gonna attack other artists, and then suddenly, that's gonna get us more attention on our stuff, and then we're gonna get the job and the career and all that. No, that's not how it works. Neon is like 1,000% spot on. That's not how it works. Stupid ass, man. It happens, man. It shit happens, dude.
My soap opera analogy is like, you have this woman who's convinced that if she kills the person's love interest, that they'll love them instead. Like that doesn't mean they'll like you just because the wife's gone. It's like that same mentality.
Yeah, and I think it extends in the to the YouTube space too.
Oh yeah,
I think that. They think if they tank YouTubers or whatever, that people are going to watch their channels instead. And I've seen this because 99% of the time, like, it's not just us, but people that are hypercritical of other YouTubers or Twitch streamers or whatever. 99.9% of the time, if you look, they have their own channel and they're not doing well. And that's what it's usually about. So let's talk about this. Before you get into any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You will get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Go out to clownfishminus.com, check out our merch, support the Reef if possible. Check out the Reef here on YouTube and locals as well. So we'll start with this one. This is actually what kicked it off because I saw it this morning and you responded to it. But this is Pipperoo. I offered free art because I genuinely wanted to give back to the community.
Which is fine.
But now I'm being threatened with a blacklist simply because I couldn't instantly complete their requests. Please don't do this to other artists, and I hope people believe me. I'm scared.
Don't be scared of them. They're just being a big dumbass bully. Your first mistake was you let them talk to you like that at all, and that you genuinely are showing fear for it. They can't do jack. I doubt this person can do jack crap. I doubt it.
This is ridiculous, and it's probably teenagers or younger attacking it. Well, you know what? I would have said.
Let's be honest here. It's teenagers and 20-somethings who should know better. It's teenagers and 20-somethings who should know freaking better. Like, and the same thing goes for, and the very thing goes for aunties as well. It's the same exact thing. Same exact thing. Usually with these Twitter freaks and such like that, it's usually teenagers or 20-somethings who should know better. And it's like you can tell, too. Because they have these different things in their bio, they always act ditzy and such like that, and they're always promoting their own content if something goes viral. If they make a tweet or call out and it goes viral and it gets all these hits, you're just like, okay, this is a 20-something who doesn't know any better, who doesn't even have the gall to actually respond. To actually respond to any of the actual criticisms, though. Any of the backlash. They want to play the victim. It's always that, man. Always that. Sorry.
Said that a couple of years ago, And I've seen some grown-ass adults acting like children, so it's a special.
I see more grown-ass adults acting like children than I see children acting like children.
That's true. Hey, I see you drawing all these other people, and I entered a long time ago. Are you even going to draw me, or are you just engagement farming? Like, so for real, people can't even grow authentically these days. Like, have some dignity if you want to be a real artist.
Go fuck yourself. Like, seriously. Like, if seriously, somebody come into my DMs with a comment like that, I'm putting them on blast. If that's really how you're gonna act, get. Sorry. Maybe I think Appa Ben may have a point. Maybe there should be an age limit when it comes to social media. We should have an age limit verification. I'm sorry, maybe Appa Ben has a point. God.
Okay, you didn't draw me for free, but if you wanted to be a real artist, you would have dignity and draw people for free. Pay them then. Then you go to the top of the list.
We've got some anecdotes here because I'm going to tell you right now. This is not your Pipperoo, if that's how
you're just coming. Are you asking me or are you asking them? But yeah. Are you just coming out to that conclusion, Makini? So probably likely.
This is not your audience. You are better off finding a handful of people that will pay you for your art than giving the store away. So they said, hey there, I just wanted to say that I'm going to draw everyone, but it takes time. I can only manage about 12 a day.
12 a day. 12.
I'm doing my best. I know you submitted your request a while ago, and I deeply apologize. It seems like I'm ignoring you. I understand this is free art, and I'm putting in as much equal effort as I can. It really hurts my feelings, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, that's part of your problem right there. You let your feelings be equated. And I get it, because I do it all the time, too. I tend to be empathic anyway. It's a whole long story, but anyway, I let my feelings get hurt a lot too. But you need to learn to separate them because you shouldn't have to.
I have hardened your heart.
It's true. I was a lot more sunshine and kittens before, but yeah, it's just like you got to watch out for yourself, and you're giving away for free, and you can't be letting these people hurt your feelings because they don't care. They just want their free shit.
Yeah, I love this response here. Cry harder. No one forced you to do this. And if you can't handle the pressure, maybe don't offer free art in the first place. Stop fishing for pity.
Why not just not ask for free art then?
Yeah, right. No one cares how hard you're working either. Deliver or don't. But quit acting like that over something you chose to do, dumbass. And I'm a blacklist you because artists like you taint the VTuber and art community. Good luck. You're also probably a scam. Hold
on. Hang on a second. Let me play this real quick. Somebody. Now I'm getting fired up. Like now I'm getting fired up right now. Like I am getting fired up right now. I still have Sean's comment. What about Sean's comment? Anyway, let me play that again. Hang on. Let me play that again one more time.
Deliver or don't, but quit acting like that over something you chose to do, dumbass. And I'm a blacklist you because artists like you taint the VTuber and art community. Good luck. You're also probably
You just want to say fuck you. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
That would be my response if somebody came into me with a DM talking like that. That would be my exact response. And yes, I would put them on blast publicly.
Scammer.
Who is this person that's going to blacklist you?
They won't put their.
Do you know how many times we've been blacklisted from shit? A bunch. You know how much it's done?
Nothing. It's done absolutely nothing. Actually, if anything, it's helped us more than. It hurts. I want to be part of the community. Too late. I already told my friends. We're making sure everyone knows to avoid you. If you can't handle the responsibility, this community doesn't need another clout chaser pretending to be generous. Enjoy the blacklist, sweetie.
So I'm translation. This person wanted free art for people to be nice. This other person signed up for wanting free art. I'm sure a lot of people wanted it because this person was dumb and offered free art. No offense, but that was really stupid. And then they're all lining up. And then because their free art wasn't fast enough, they're threatening to blacklist them and tell them they're ruining the community. This is how they try to control you. They try to tell you how you're a terrible person if you don't do what they want. Who is the community? Who decides? What friends? I doubt very highly this person has friends.
Yeah, that's a good point. Who is the community? Like, what is this community you speak of? They're going to blacklist from this community. Like, okay, what is this community that you speak of? What is this? Like who are you the moral arbiter of this community here? Like, get out. Like, seriously, get out of here with that, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like this is clearly the work of either teenagers or 20-somethings who should know better.
If you're that demanding, yeah, this is another presumably young artist that is being shamed and taken advantage of. And this happened with the skin tone thing too, where they care too much. They care too much what other people think. And let me tell you, these people don't give a shit about you. They will throw you to the wolves. This is why the cancel culture, I believe, was so rampant on Twitter for so long before Elon Musk, because people wanted to do the right thing, and other people will take advantage of you wanting to do the quote unquote right thing.
They were trying, like, the person was very polite, explained the situation, said, "Oh, I didn't forget. I'm still getting to you. I just haven't got there yet." And instead of being like, okay, for a free piece of art, it wasn't like they paid for this or anything, and then they were getting mad because they want their money back. Free art. And then they're like, well, you aren't doing my free. You didn't give me the answer I want, so I'm going to cancel you. It's like, no, they can't. They fucking can't. I don't know who they are, but I guarantee they can't do jack shit. And given all the support from people, they're not going to do shit. And honestly, I think they should have said who this person was, because that would have been a lot more interesting. Because I think it's going to turn out this person's a big.
I understand. Listen, okay, I get it. I always say in my a lot of things when I see a situation like this, I always say, listen, do not harass this person. Do not harass this person. Do not follow this person, whatever, because they're going to try to blame it on me because we're sending a hate mob towards them. But in situations like this, if they're going to send you DMs and they're going to act, and this is how they're going to act, I'm going to be honest with you. There's some situations where you like, no, show the username. Show their exact username. Show the username. Because it's like, nah, bro, you can't play that, yes. No, a lot of people out there are made of stronger stuff than that, and you can't just bully and intimidate people like that, especially younger artists like that too.
This is all about controlling. We're going to blacklist you. We're going to say mean things about you. We're going to go on forums and make it seem like there's a whole bunch of us, and there's only like 2 of us, because they're crazy ass jealous or bored or mentally ill, and they're looking for a way to take
or all 3 or all 3 or all 3. Sorry.
You down because God forbid you have something they don't have, right? They probably can't even draw at all. I guarantee.
Probably not. We used to do caricatures at events, and I remember these girls came over and they're like trying to get you to draw free stuff for them. Yeah. Like, can you draw this character? Can you draw that character? Yeah. Will you draw
There's
it for
my
me?
Rates. Look at the sign, sweetheart. There's my rates. Like you will grow a thick skin if you do this long enough. And this is coming from a guy in his 40s. So we used to do webcomics, and we were actually more successful than most people doing webcomics. And I noticed this attitude shift. When we first started, people were grateful that you were literally just giving them free comics to read. And they were grateful, and they were fantastic. And I still remember the names of some of our biggest supporters, and I thought it was great. And then the attitude started to change when the Tumblr rights came in. And the Tumblr rights were totally different. The Tumblr rights would come into the comments section, which I eventually disabled because I'm like, nah, hell, you're not paying for it. You don't get to say shit about what we're doing. But they would come in, they'd start nitpicking everything. Oh, how come there are too many white people in this? And I don't know. Why is it black and white? Because sometimes, I didn't have time because I had a day job too.
We tried to do black and white because we could get them pages faster in black and white, and then they complained because their free wasn't in color. I remember the one person went through every page of the comic and found something to complain about every page. Literally, we're talking hundreds of pages, and they found something to complain about every page, down to like complaining about the type of about how American chocolate sucked. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
it
not
was-
wrong.
What?
Hershey's isn't really sucky compared to other brands, but
I prefer to buy from Aldi, but but yeah, it was insane. And the people got more and more demanding. If we're like, hey, having some personal health issues, not going to be any comics this week. Well, I'm just going to go read somebody else's free comic book. I'm like, well,
Okay,
you go
then.
ahead and do that. And we've had people before, like I'm like, okay, fine. If you want the comic to continue, we're going to have to start charging on Patreon or something, because I don't know how else to make this go. Like my time has to be paid for. Well, there's so many people asking for handouts on Patreon. I like their comics better. I mean, I like yours.
they told me that. They said, I didn't know they were doing Patreon, but I went to look at yours. I saw theirs, so I'm going to back theirs instead. And I was like, oh, well, that's good for them. You can.
Mhm.
I'm just like, no, I mean, to be fair, we were the ones that were dumb enough to put out there for free. So
it got us. I mean, that's the weird thing. It was a double-edged sword because it got us attention, but I'll tell you the truth. It did not translate, and I'll go on record saying this because this happens more often than not. We thought, well, it's going to be a loss leader. We're going to put our comic out there for free, and then lots of people are going to buy books. Well, guess what? They didn't buy. Not a lot of people bought books because we had the comic out there for free.
Okay.
So they get ours for free. They're going to go buy somebody else's book because
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. All right, so this sketch took a little longer than expected. So what do you think of this one, real quick? We'll get back to the video. I just want to take a quick moment to show you guys what this second one is. So this is the second design idea I had in mind. This one is Skyla, kind of with a similar kind of thing. She's wearing a long dress. She's wearing a long slit cut dress, and she has basically I would like to either think a fluffy jacket or basically a cardigan, a fluffy jacket or a cardigan. And the dress accentuates the the figure, though it's a more slimmer dress. It is a much more older looking. It is meant to be kind of Skyla, a little bit more older, mature looking. I got the idea, in fact, from D Killer Wife's outfit from Goddess of Victory, Nike. So that's kind of the idea I got for the outfit with this long dress. Basically, that's kind of how I got the idea. Basically, what do you guys think? Do you guys like this one? Because I can spruce it up actually. Because we can actually spruce this dress up by adding kind of like different patterns and such like that. But I like cutting her. Yeah, it's like the jacket is loose. The jacket is very loose off of her. Yeah, it's like kind of like falls off her shoulders, basically. It kind of in a way, Alpha. But good morning, by the way. That's sexy. Buddhist Makini challenge. Not trying to not Makini. Oh my god, nice. Okay, so you guys like this one more? You guys like this one more? Okay, so this was the second one I did, and this is the first one. First one is just more of a short dress, basically. Oh, also, I forgot to mention this is kind of where the Hoyoverse inspiration comes in, because, for example, Skyla's short hairstyle is meant to be play on of Yuan's design in Genshin Impact. The boots were inspired by Jane Doe of Zenless Zone Zero, and I'm thinking of giving her stockings underneath. You can say the first draft for later. Okay, I think both five you can say the first draft for later. Thank you, Alpha. Thank you so much. Thank you. Longer for me, but both are good. I think both fine. And I thought it'd be kind of cool with the dress to have a kind of a different shape when it comes to the tail, though. Not the dress, we have like a different kind of shape when it comes to the tail, though. But I thought it'd be something a little more. It's not peak. It's not meant to be peak, especially considering Skyla's last design. But I figured it'd be a nice little change of pace. I think it'd be a nice more change of pace. And I just had this idea for a much more. older look. It's Yilon. Sorry, Yilon of Genshin. Sorry, Yilon of Genshin. That's how I got the idea for the bob hairstyle. But Yilon of Genshin. But that'd be a fun little. That'd be a little design because we're doing this. We're doing this because January 30th is Skyla's birthday, so a little she promised a redesign for Makini Live next Sunday. So let me know what you guys think. I think for the short dress, I would have wear high boots or leg wheel, but it's all just me. Well, she's still wearing high boots though. She kind of still is wearing high boots though. High boots leg wear, yeah, I can see that. And I did add little chains around the hips too, as well, because it's very cut. Her dress is actually very cut too. I don't know. Streamlined. I was always kind of funny thing with Skyla because of her, I guess you could say because of her more racer background where she stimulated from. I always tried to go for something that was more slick. Something that felt more slick. Something that felt more streamlined. Something that felt very, I want to say very fast. I don't know what it is, but I wanted to just kind of go off it this way and then have she's still going to keep the colors though. She's still going to have the black with pink highlights. She's still pink highlights. It's just and we still might keep I still want to keep the white and blue, the white, pink and blue color scheme as well. So I'll probably have to factor that in some way, especially if we do a solid white. If we do a solid white dress, we got to accentuate it's almost like you could do a it's almost like you could do a I don't know how to call it, like a casual looking race queen, I guess you could say. Almost go for a race queen kind of style look. Almost like a casual looking race queen. I don't know how else to put it. Almost like a casual looking race queen. Because I know race queens are but white, yeah. Mm-hmm. White, blue, and pink has always been her color. Yeah, and even with the dark colors to kind of accentuate as a good contrast. But yeah, it's usually her color scheme has always been white, blue, and pink. So I don't know. I'm wondering if we could take from SB though. I wonder if we could take from SB because I know people love the freaking. I haven't even got the war dress yet in Stellar Blade. In most of the photos that I see in Stellar Blade are all the war dress. Most of the photos I see on Twitter are all people love the war dress in Stellar Blade. I'm like, is that side boob? Side boob. Boob. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's continue.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was really disheartening. It was like, wow, this is not like it was great. We had the ad revenue and stuff like that when the rates were good, but it was a very weird situation where it was like, yeah, once you open up the soup kitchen, that's what it's going to be.
I mean, the reason people started that free model was, like you said, the ad rates and things, because the ad rates would definitely cover your expenses. However, I'm not going to say who did it, but certain people would then turn around and click on their own ads.
Penny Arcade. I'll say it.
Okay, Penny Arcade.
Penny Arcade.
They clicked their own ads and kept doing it and taking money. And because of that, they ended up being leery of webcomics for giving you ad money. We ended up putting a blog on our webcomic, which we were doing that before other people were, because at least with the blog, they considered it more, acceptable content.
Yeah, webcomics were monetized with Google AdSense for a while, and then Google, if you had strictly comment.
I remember Penny Arcade growing up. I remember Penny Arcade. Oh my god! Show of hands if you guys remember Penny Arcade.
On your website, they wouldn't even let you run the Google ads on your site, or the rates would be abysmal because you didn't have a text on your site to be able to pull from contextual ads or whatever, and you didn't show up in search very much. So it was a very weird situation. But yeah, we're very familiar with that, and people were angry. They were, "How dare you take our free stuff away?" I'm like, "Bitch, you don't pay for anything." Then they'd try to guilt you, and they'd try to it was insane. I'm like, you know what? At this point, and we had at our peak. I mean, we were getting like 1 million views a month, on our site, and I'm like, we're better off selling a couple hundred or 1,000 selling a couple hundred or 1,000 comic books than we are giving it away.
Well, people don't realize too, like if you had your own site at the time, which we did, you had to pay for hosting.
Yeah.
So those were intensive because they were images, they were all like visual, and it was very, 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 very expensive to pay for that. We got audited because we had to write off the expense of the websites, and then because we were paying to advertise, and we ended up having to get audited for that because they couldn't understand why we were spending so much money on this website and the advertising, and we had this. So we were making very little, and it wasn't worth it. And you get to the place where it's like you don't owe these people anything. Like I would love for people to look like my art and enjoy it and be happy, and a lot of people would like that. But the reality is, the reason they come to you is because you're giving it to them for free. But that's not enough to be patient because it's free. They want it now, and you better service them first. That sounds wrong, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's true. And this is like we're going to go back to that because back in the day when the internet was young, there were message boards and stuff like that, but a lot of people had to pay to join boards.
Oh my god! Power saying Sean is writing notes for his next stream with Dan. Sean's writing notes now.
The banner ads came up, or they go out and they would find sponsors, direct sponsors, or whatever. But
Patreon came out of webcomics.
Patreon, they admitted to me when I talked to them when they first started that they lifted the model from webcomics because webcomickers to make ends meet were selling content they weren't putting on their website or whatever via PayPal back then, and doing like newsletters and stuff like that. So they basically just lifted that model, and it works. But the thing is, if your brand is I give away free shit and then you start charging for stuff, then people get really pissy.
Oh, they'll pay for it if it's porn.
Yeah, if it's porn, they'll pay. That was basically it. There were sites that never, and I was shocked. There were some like very PG rated webcomics that to survive, they started doing porn on. You could tell they weren't really comfortable with it, but they're like, if this is what I got to do to keep doing my comic because I don't want to go back to it, working a day job, then I guess this is what I got to do. And that was really sad. But yeah, that whole scene was basically about people getting free shit. And it definitely, you got, I'm not saying like you charge through the nose for stuff when you first start out, but just realize if you're giving free stuff away, those people, a lot of times the freeloaders are going to be more critical than the people that paid a lot of money.
And they're more demanding.
They're more
demanding. The thing is, by setting it as free, you're like, I know why. Totally get it. We were in the same position. We get it. But what it turns out to do is it just, I don't want to say devalues you, but it basically, they're just thinking that, you're not worth it as much to them as somebody who you have to pay for. They want it because it's free. But if you want them to help support you, they're not gonna. They'll just move on to the next free thing.
Yeah,
they're leeches. They're leeches.
Yeah, no,
sometimes not everyone. Like
not everyone. Of course,
we had some really great fans that were just legitimate fans. And when we were at Webtoons, especially, there was a really good community there. And a lot of those people were like, "Oh, that's fine. You can take longer. It's okay. I just like the story, and I really want more. But I can wait for it to rather it be good than crap." Yeah. And you had a lot of people that were really, really nice. I want to make it very clear. There was a lot of great, appreciative people in there. But unfortunately, the shitty people, ruined it for everyone.
That's 100% true. So now the next drama we're going to talk about is, speaking of shitty people ruining it for everyone, is now we have the art police. So for the longest time, they were policing skin tones, and now they're policing art, and they're trying to catch people using AI art. And there's some art like this I don't even understand. This obviously, I don't think this was AI at all, but they're going.
This is what they're showing is of 9SP. I did a video on that 2 weeks ago. Check that out. I'll probably, if I could ask Power, if you could put a link to the video I did covering this topic, I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, they're covering that drama. Basically, I guess the artist's name was like Twinsy or Twinty or something like that. And they accused this Demon Slayer artist of AI, and basically their tweet got viral and they got bullied off of Twitter. And the person who kind of, who accused them of AI got such massive blowback. Like every single time they apologized, it was community noted. Community noted every single time. Madam Savvy was covering it. Permaband was covering it. So many people were covering this situation. So yeah, I did an entire video on this one. If you could link that video to the chat, that would go. I would really appreciate that.
Going around and they're policing people, and they're actually getting into fights on Twitter about this because some people are like, what's the big deal if somebody was using AI or AI assist or whatever?
Thank you,
how do we? And people are like, no, we have no tolerance at all. I'm like, golly, I sure hope you're not using Photoshop for any of your art. It's just so bizarre. But this person,
some of them probably don't even draw.
A lot of them probably don't draw. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these people, they don't draw or they don't draw well. Some of our biggest critics, I've looked into them, and some of them would like to draw. Some of them would like to have a YouTube channel. Some of them would like to have people pay them for their stuff. But frankly, they ain't got it. So they spend all day going around trying to get people that they don't think deserve to have it, right? And it's like that's really sad, because all that time that you're spending being focused on other people's shit and what they're doing, you could be improving yourself, building your own audience. But no, you're so petty and jealous that you have to spend all your time prowling around for somebody to make yourself feel better. And it's very, very weird. But there's a lot of that, and it's the crabs in the bucket. Creatives especially, like, I don't know what the mindset is. I think everybody wants to be special. And the truth, and I had somebody tell me this, and it was a brutal wake-up call, but it's 100% accurate. This is actually a DC Comics editor. And he said, you know what? You might be the best artist in your class. You might be the best artist your school has ever churned out. But if you come from a small town, you're competing with people from New York. You're competing with people on a global level. And frankly, just because your mom says your art's good and she puts it up on her fridge doesn't mean your art actually is good. When
you can't confirm that didn't happen, that your mom did put your art in your fridge.
Oh, no.
Your mom doesn't know what you do.
She always thought it was dumb that I did art. But no, and he wasn't like knocking me. He said you've got potential, but basically like, knock it off. You're not special. You never acted like you were, did you? No, I didn't. I think
I can't see you doing that.
He was just kind of going through, because he said we get a lot of kids in here and they think they're like the best thing ever. Like, I went to whatever art school and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, cool, I can just take one look at your pages and be like, yeah, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. And it's not to be mean, but some people do need to have a little perspective of like, at the end of the day, there are a lot of people that draw well. There are some people that are just completely in another league entirely. But those people, for the most part, are pretty humble about it, given the amount of skill that they have. I've seen some people that are just phenomenally talented, and they don't have an ego about it, because they got there because they practiced their asses off, and they learned to do things the right way. And they probably didn't spend all their time prowling the internet looking for people to get.
Which is what happened here. I mean, this is like a case in point. This person apparently accused this artist of using AI, which they apparently didn't.
Yeah,
and then they bullied them off the internet, and then it turned out it wasn't AI anyway. Yeah.
So they actually got. I rated this as helpful. They actually got a community note on it, and this person's like, "I'm so sorry, I took it down."
No. They apologized twice. They apologized multiple times, and they got community noted and ratioed every single time. Because even when they actually made a direct apology to the artist, it got community noted. It felt insincere. It felt like they made it all about them. Sorry, I wanted to add on to that. Go ahead.
It's not just this particular instance, right? But this is it. Yeah, everybody's like, "Oh, I have to show you my process now, just to make sure you don't think I'm cheating. But the thing is that AI can do that now too. I mean,
Well, even
that's-
if you use Photoshop and stuff like that too, like, are you shifting something up and down? Are you using tools to help you with your different things? Well, if you are, then aren't you cheating? I mean, it's the same thing. That was what people thought back when the digital stuff started. How they look at AI now. That's how they looked at Photoshop then.
Yes. And I remember that. And I think a lot of these people are younger. They don't remember, but I remember when people started using digital tablets to ink and whatever, and that wasn't real art. You know, you're not a real artist because you're using a tablet. Photoshop and CGI work and all of that. It's not real because you didn't actually draw it. It's a model, it's a render, so therefore it invalidates it. And eventually AI is going to be a tool in an artist's tool set. I'm 100% convinced. I'm not talking about, creating and scraping art whole cloth.
No, we're not talking about that at all.
I'm talking about using an AI assistant to help you make your art, and it is your art, make it better, faster. Just like any other.
Flatting, it saves how much time?
Oh God, yeah. So yeah, this has been going on for a while. Here's another one, another example of it. I've seen this one going around. This is AI art.
Stuff,
this person said they were banned from post.
It's some truly stunning work. Like legitimately, truly stunning work too. Just wanted to add that on.
On a Sailor Moon Reddit, of course it's Reddit, because my 3D art reeks of AI. I even have all the proof videos of hundreds of hours put into manual work of sculpting those statues and the architecture, and I can't even write to the mods to clarify that. Can I even fix it? I'd just be like, fuck you.
Messed up. It's messed up.
Update: the person who did that has banned me on has been banned on Blue Sky after I tagged them and asked them to comment on the situation, or has banned you. Well, I did all I could. You can't look if somebody's already got their backup and they think the next thing will be like, you're probably a Nazi too, and you use AI art, but this is ridiculous. Yeah, I got permanent ban. That's what you get for asking them to show the Unreal Engine scene and video proofs that my work is not AI. I never heard the person who banned me is getting threatened, saying threats is never okay. God, this is insane. My thing is like, why do you care what Reddit or Twitter thinks?
Because
you're not going to find your audience.
They're afraid to not get that.
Why do you care what Reddit thinks? I'm sorry. Why do you care what Reddit thinks? Let's be honest. I agree with Twitter. I agree 100% with Twitter. But especially Reddit. Why do you care what Reddit thinks? By the way, Reddit started banning links to Twitter, by the way. Reddit started banning links to Twitter, by the way. Any links are banned. Because Reddit is an echo chamber.
That's what they're afraid of. That they get mad that won't be there. They won't like them.
This isn't your audience, Eugenia. Is that your name, Eugenia? This isn't your audience. Your audience are the normies that probably don't even set foot on these websites. You're not going to get, and that's another thing too we learned in webcomics, is like you're not going to get famous basically peddling your art to other people who are effectively your competitors. And that was it. Like most of the people who read webcomics, by the end of it, not at the beginning, but by the end of it, it was just webcomics creators commenting on each other's work.
Right. It was very incestuous.
It was very incestuous. And then there was all kinds of cliques and drama and shit. Like, and these people are young. I can tell they're young, but like, this is not the real world. If you want to be a commercial artist, then you need to sell your art to whoever's buying. And those people do not live on Reddit. They do not live on Twitter. The mod has made a public apology. Well, that's cool. So I made the no AI art rule. It replaced the former rule. The AI art just had to be labeled as such voluntarily. I made this change since it seemed to be the community consensus, and the huge positive reply to the rule change cemented it. Part of the reason the old rule was the way it was because kind of writing what's an AI.
I don't know. Who cares?
Who fucking cares? You're on a power trip. You're a Reddit mod. Who gives a shit? Right? I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you people, the problem is twofold. The problem is these people are terrible people. They're looking for reasons to cancel their peers. The other problem is you care too much about what they think. And the first rule, beyond being able to draw well to being a commercial artist, is the only people you have to care about what they think are your actual paying customers.
Yeah, I mean, just at this point, it's back to the original person. I just be block and move on, because they're not gonna they can't cancel you. They can't. Well,
can't.
What are they gonna say? What are you gonna say? Well, cancel as artists because they didn't give me free fast enough. The next thing is, then don't give out free art.
Yeah, don't give out free art. Yeah, that's actually pretty easy. So there we go, guys. Art Twitter getting silly. Of course,
Art Twitter being Art Twitter again. That's basically what it is. It's Art Twitter.
Gonna wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Yeah, it's Art Twitter, basically Art Twitter. You know. And thank you, Pal, for the links. Thank you, Pal, for linking. Varsity, he says, I don't know if Rima will post it, but about 2 weeks ago, it seems there might have been an update on the 2022 or 2023 hoopla with the female artist who got banned on Reddit by mods. I see, you know, you can talk about the same girl. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's like very interesting though. Like, thank you, Power, for bringing that up. Please, thank you so much for bringing that up, and it was worth a reaction. So, yeah, dude, just freaking crazy, guys. Yeah, I think that's just what the case is. Is like, don't let the you know, especially if you're a young artist, like don't let that. Yeah, Twitter, Reddit. That's not, you know, you can phase those comments out because it is like I don't know how else to put it. Easy targets. They could see you as easy target. They may see you as an easy target. They see you as they're seen as what Neon says leeches. They could see you as an easy target, like one to easy to intimidate. You know, and you know any pushback, and they'll play the victim and such like that. But no, you're, and I think that's kind of is the same thing for a lot of stuff going on too. Is with a lot of these Twitter posts and stuff like that. Is that they look for easy targets that are not going to push back, targets that are going to kowtow to their every whim, you know, it's going to kowtow to their every whim, and doing it for attention, though. And I think that's something that they forgot to bring up. Something that Neon and Geeky did forget to bring up is that a lot of times they'll do it for attention too. Like they'll have a tweet that goes viral, it'll go viral, and they'll start promoting themselves and start blaming the victim and shit like that because of the feedback and because they did something stupid. That's why I said this is a lot of 20-somethings who don't know better or very young teenagers. Like people who have not experienced the internet, nor like, you know, nor too much of real life for that matter. Or who are terminally, or also the other thing is terminally online. Terminally online, you know, terminally online to people, you know, it happens, you know, it's just, if anything, just, you know, learn to phase those out, learn to phase those people out, and, you know, I say this sincerely, you're definitely gonna need to learn how to, you know, you need to learn how to be able to have, you know, stronger stuff, you know, have stronger resilience to this. You're going to learn how to. It's just, I love it. I love it when they bring up the race. I love it when it's in regard to race because a dark-skinned character's color is too light or being accused of whitewashing. It's like, you don't know lighting. You don't understand lighting. And it's always, okay, it's not always, but most of the time, it's Asian artists that gets harassed. To the point where, in fact, let me see if I can find, I'm so sorry, let me see if I can find, what was it? It's an old video from Hiro Hey. There's an old video from Hiro Hey. Whitewashing. There's an old one about that, like people are like building up guidelines when it regards to Asian and Japanese Twitter are like building up guidelines to or start setting up guidelines to how to deal with these kind of people. So yeah, I don't know. It's just I remember that. It happened. It happened, you know. Ooh, that was a good video. That was a great video. Thank you so much, Power, for that. Okay, all right. Let's get the clock back up. So it's just hilarious, you know. And if you guys saw yesterday's stream, I went off on the Riot Kitty and Mom Bear went off on the whole on that whole ish with Assassin's Creed Shadows, man. It is hilarious to say the least. And of course the Real Game Awards is getting the Real Game Awards is there's been some huge pushback with the Real Game Awards too. Starring Craig's Real Game Awards. All right, let's continue. It's kind of funny. I'm going back to an older brush now for this too. Oh, I can go full screen now. I don't need that. Sorry about that. I can go full screen now. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. It's art Twitter being it's art Twitter being art Twitter again. It's art Twitter. It's being silly. It's just being stupid, just downright stupid too. Here. So it kind of took from Yuan of Genshin. And like I said, we'll adjust. I'll adjust this. I'll adjust this after. We'll adjust this afterwards, okay? Here. That's really good. Like a little reaction thing. I'm trying not to. It's kind of funny. Like I'm always kind of cautious when I do live reactions and such like that, just because I don't want my channel to turn into I don't want to do I don't want to be pulling Asmongold every stream. Asmongold every stream. You know. It's fun. It's fun. I try to. With Makini in the morning, it is really focused on the art and such like that. But I thought it was an interesting topic to go over. I'm gonna have to adjust this a bit. Mm. Well, I've been like binge watching. I've been like binge watching like so much like cyberpunk lore videos. It's like crazy how crazy the world 2077 is, because I'm on my because I'm doing my playthrough right now, and it's like, wow, there's like so many things I didn't pick up. So it's this, that, or the third. Like I just listened to the entire story, like a breakdown of the entire story of the Phantom Liberty expansion, and I'm like, now I'm really excited to try to see that too. Mm-hmm. Like I had to really, like on Saturday, like I had to really think to myself, is 2077 like on my list of like all-time favorite video games? And it's like, yeah, it kind of is. It kind of hits that all-timer list for me. Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. So, okay, get back to it. With Ninja Gaiden, with Ninja Gaiden Black, I will probably get it at some point. I will probably want to get it at some point. Just not now. But freaking Riot Kitty. Freaking Riot Kitty. She convinced me. She somehow convinced me to. She somehow convinced me to get back into Zenless again. I downloaded Zenless on PC. I'll probably just I'll probably download it on PC just because I want to get the mods and stuff like that. Just because I want to mod it. So I probably want to mod Zenless. So. Sorry, I'm still thinking of that bottom heavy Jane Doe mod from a while back. Like I follow a couple. I think I subscribe to like a couple of channels that do like Zenless mods right now, and I'm like, dang it! And I told Riot, like, I dropped Girls Frontline 2 to get back into Zenless, so it better be worth it. But no, I'm not. But as far as, but at this point, Nikkei and Snowbreak are permanent stays at this point. Yeah, Nikkei and Snowbreak are regulars now. So I do need to get back into Nikkei real soon though. Listen, love the Rappy event, by the way. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And Snowbreak is really seeming to kind of like get its Snowbreak really got its itch together. It keeps coming back. It keeps coming back to peak. It keeps peaking. Like the new update, they keep peaking. Like, yeah. So I got a freaking Go user with Chinjing. I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. Go user Chinjing. That too. Go to the face claim videos. I personally saw Coin needs some improvement claim that personally. But personally saw needs some improvement claim that personally, but story for us is pretty fine. Yeah, he's got to use ban mod. He's gonna get banned. I know, right? I got to be very careful with that too. I have to be so freaking careful with that. So freaking careful. Oh my. No. I was a lot of the YouTubers I watch, they have to they have to do all these tricks to make sure they don't get banned, basically. So you have to be very careful when it comes to mods. But I'll use Zenless, so. pullover when I was playing. I dropped Snow Break. They didn't have enough stamina pullover flow when I was playing. I understand that. And it's like doing consumer shit when you're both fine, not owning anything, both suffer. I agree. I agree with you on that one. On that one difficulty. Like I said, my video on Friday, Code Violet, like Team Kill Media, like Code Violet, y'all, good luck on y'all. All I can say is good luck, because you ain't, because if you don't go this anti-prawn stance, and like banning vulgar mods and stuff like that as your reason for not getting a PC release, for not having your game released on PC, that is going to hurt you big time. And considering your track record, you already have it's already hurt your case already. So it's not really surprising now, is it? Okay, let me get the base body up first. Okay, short break this time. Okay, I'm gonna sculpt out the body first, and then we'll go through. Then I'll flip the canvas over. Sculpt the body first, flip the canvas over, and then we'll get into adjust the anatomy a bit, and then we'll go back in and start adding the different clothes. Once everything's corrected, we'll start adding the different clothing and stuff like that. So you guys will see it come much more to life. So sorry for a minute. I'm sure it's all went by for but yes. That was the video that I dropped on Friday. So, oh my god, it's like really bad too. So, but I was like, man, these mods are like freaking killing me for Zenless. Like these mods for Zenless are like freaking killing me. You gotta be very careful with that though. You have to be very, very careful. And I think I'm waiting until there's a price drop on Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, and I'm waiting until the first like batch of mods start like pouring through. First batch of mods start pouring through, you know. And 4 looks awesome. Ninja Gaiden 4 looks awesome though. Let's see. Oh. PlayStation and DDI. That's interesting. Now the whole Kingdom Come Deliverance, the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 situation is just like really crazy, and I don't even know what to make of it, honestly. I do want to watch Jay's video though. Of South of Midnight. But there's another thing. One of the developers of a YouTuber was silenced, by the way. A YouTuber had their video criticizing Assassin's Creed Shadows was basically removed, which is really crazy. I'm trying to look through other stuff here. Oh, I remember Farm Folks. I remember that whole thing with Farm Folks.
Doesn't matter to me either way.
If you guys not subscribed to Farm Folks, or guys not subscribed to Saladino, dude, please do so. Subscribe to Saladino. Oh, it's a re-upload. Okay. That's over. This one from minimum effort. Okay, we're gonna react to another. AC video. We'll do a little reaction to another AC video. This is coming from Minimal Effort Gaming. If you guys are not subscribed to Minimal Effort, please do so. You guys got to Tebow over at Minimal Effort. Also, I think he's also a writer on Fandom Pulse too. Tebow. And Demion dropped a new video on Assassin's Creed Shadows too, so we'll look that up. Okay, looks like it is time. Okay. Oh, it is so undercooked, bro. It is so undercooked. Like, it's not at the right state. It simply is not at the right state. So we might what? No, we're gonna. You know what? You know what? We're gonna do one more. We're gonna do one more reaction. We're gonna do one more reaction, and that's it. Okay? We'll do one more reaction as we work on Skyla's redesign. Okay? So let's do this. It'll just be a fun little reaction. This one is coming from upper echelon. This one's coming from Upper Echelon Gaming. If you guys are not subscribed to that great channel, by the way. You guys not subscribed to UEG. Yeah, must be good though. Fun little. So shout out to UEG. Try not to. Just a little fun little reaction. I thought it'd be interesting and see what he is about. This is about the AAA. This is about the AAA bubble bursting. So this would be interesting. This would be kind of cool. So all right, let's do this.
This video is brought to you by Incogni. Stick around to hear more about the special offer they're providing to the entire Upper Echelon community. All right, so for years now, like 7 or 8 years actually, I've complained about the relative quality standards for AAA gaming across many different genres. But today, after a series of high-profile failures, stock price fluctuations, revenue downgrades, and now a very interesting analyst report about the state of video games in 2025, I want to make the argument that the quality isn't just bad, with major publishers chasing all the wrong trends. I want to make a case that the bubble itself has actually burst. It's a prediction, obviously, and I could be wrong, of course, but my view is that the overarching trends of the AAA video game market have finally reached a sort of inflection point where the unsustainable nature of their choices are now fully untenable. The way that these companies develop, market, and release major franchise titles no longer works, and the severity of failure that we see from major industry players will either dramatically increase or the entire ethos of their publishing structure will necessarily change.
And that is true. That is true. Like, the structures are going to have to change if they want to survive, especially the bigger publishers. The bubble, the AAA bubble has burst, and I think it burst, I want to say, yeah, around last year. I think the bubble burst basically around last year. You know, you had those, you know, Sushi Squad, Concord, you know, you name it. You know, we had some high profile titles that basically went belly up instantly that went belly up, you know. And I think it's always been a sign that the AAA bubble has completely just gone at this point. Xbox has basically become more interested in just being a third party, in being a third party developer than an actual, console manufacturer, an actual competitor to Sony, you know. And Sony, who has been, who has been riding on high throughout this through this past generation. It's not reaching those highs that it used to do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Sony is reaching those same highs that it's used to reach. And the ninth gen, like I think we can agree that the ninth gen has been very weak. I think the ninth generation has been very, very weak, and I think it was that. Yeah, this is the generation that I made that full jump to PC. You know, and I had to get a new PC after my all-in-one PC died on me. So I was like, yeah, getting a tower. I wanted a tower. I wanted a gaming tower, and that was made my full jump to PC. And I haven't looked back since. Yeah, I have my PS5, and I still have a couple games that I play on PS5, like Stellar Blade and stuff like that. But even then, it's not enough. Even then, it's like a lot of that same experience you can get on PC. You know?
To make the case, I'm going to use roughly 5 different primary examples spread across 4 different major publishers, those being Sony, Ubisoft, Warner Brothers, and EA, Electronic Arts, including with a hilariously out-of-touch analyst report indicating that what game makers appear to be hoping for is a normalization of higher price tags in an industry where the product that you get isn't even a product, often gets shut down, and never deserved the price tag it had in the first place. In summary, the AAA video game industry bubble has popped, in my view. Let's start with this. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I've talked about this one before, so I'll be quick here. But Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is an abject live service failure. Developed by Rocksteady under Warner Brothers as their publisher, the game utilized extremely well-known brand IP, which is a bit of a theme for the video. However, the final product was completely uninteresting. In terms of player traction, the game was an abject failure. And it wasn't long until Rocksteady announced that there would be no more future content ever developed.
Uninteresting. No. They took well-known IP and basically crapped on all over it. Like, crapped on all of it. Okay? Then you get this stupid... Oh, my God. Did you guys see this? I'm sorry. I gotta go off camera here. I gotta go off tangent here. So it turns out that the Justice... Hang on a second. Let's look at this. Hang on.
We phased our butts into Brainy's lair, and he was steamed. But guess who else showed up?
Brainiac, that's enough. Kryptonian, you're indubitably too disco-populated to fight. Don't you know, Brainiac? Anything's possible with a little help from your friends.
Thought he meant us for a second, but of course he meant bats. Ow! That says the criminals. That's us. Did well following his plan. So how'd we figure out Brady had cloned the league? We were like, there were clones? Anyway, we totally laid it out. If we took him back, Walla would make them into even bigger tools. More importantly, she'd totally 86 us. Soup said the League needs to atone for everything that happened, starting with freeing all the folks Brainy tentacle wrapped, then putting as many worlds right as they can. As for us, we had a plan too. Did I mention the Wonder Trio up hack, Lawless and Toy Boy shorted out our bombs? That's important for the next part. At the end of the day, this squad sticks together. Why not do it out there in the Elseworlds instead of a freaking prison block? Road trip! Don't you love a happy ending? Even Waller gets to And she will. She knows what's good for her. Suicide Squad out!
Metropolis, this is Lois Lane. From all reports, it seems that Batman is...
I got no words. I got no words. I have zero words. So it turns out that what everybody was speculating, because it was them trying to cover their asses, yeah, the Justice League that, we killed off, where it turns out they were just clones by Brainiac. It was retconned as clones. Like, piss off. Like, I'm gonna play this again.
You just want to say, fuck you. Oh, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you.
Sorry, just, I got too much to say. Continue.
Because major publishers identified that a season pass kind of structure allowed them better ongoing monetization. That is, better monetization if you have a player base. For Suicide Squad, there was no player base, which led to the game being directly cited in the Warner Brothers first quarter 2024 earnings call as a primary factor behind a $200 million revenue drop for the company compared to 1 year prior. I'm not entirely sure how much the game originally cost to make, but whatever the development price tag was, it was an example of shipping something that the players do not want. What's next? Well, next I want to talk about Ubisoft, because Ubisoft is probably the best example you could possibly ask for when it comes to failure in all video game publishing. Setting aside the fact that the company's stock price has declined by like 90% since 2021 highs, and brushing past the part where they release blatantly mediocre products like Skull and Bones, with the sheer hubris to then say it's some sort of quadruple A video.
Skull and Bones, the world's first quadruple A title. Ubisoft, like, get the heck out of here with that, okay? But you're so crap sometimes, man. I'm sorry. Like, seriously, the world's first quadruple A title, a game that has been in development hell for years, and that should have just been shelved out entirely. Assassin's Creed Shadows ain't doing well. They shut down X Defiant, their Call of Duty killer. They're supposed to Call of Duty killer only after like what, a month or so. They're shutting down X Defiant. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, although it was good, got good reviews, the studio behind Prince of Persia was shut down. Like, it's like for real. Like for real. Oh my god. Sorry.
Video game. Ubisoft has had a different project as well called X Defiant. X Defiant, a first-person shooter that blends all sorts of different Ubisoft intellectual property together under one roof, wasn't even all that bad. But as a live service arena shooter, it was also just more of the same. It had players, sure, some of them, but not enough, at least not for Ubisoft. So in December of 2024, the announcement came through, X Defiant would be discontinued from development. Now, remember, one of the bedrock defenses that publishers have often relied on for years now, justifying why it's okay to release broken, unfinished products that lack any sort of innovative or deserving content for the initial price tag, unless they're free to play.
Oh, Power says, another person I'm subbed to loved X Defiant. He said it had so much potential, he would always stream. You're right. Yeah, but right. And it's not knocking the game. It's just, you guys, as a live service, because Ubisoft has made this as a live service, and especially as a Call of Duty killer, it was not going to last long, especially considering Ubisoft and the financial trouble that they're in right now. That's what I'm saying.
Live service apparently means you'll get more later on. But what happens if later never comes? Hopefully the pattern is beginning to emerge. If it isn't, don't worry, because there's plenty more examples to draw from, such as Concord. Now, as a side note here, some people like to make broad sweeping accusations that some or all of these games failed because they're, quote, woke. But for me, that seems like a self-serving accusation in a lot of cases. Maybe that was a factor for some people, but these games failed because they didn't provide anything worth playing. They weren't necessarily bad games, but tell me why someone should play the game in the background right now when Overwatch exists, or Deadlock, or Valorant, or any number of other hero shooter.
Listen. I agree with minimal effort. I agree. There is multiple factors on Concord's failure. I detailed all of that in a video as well from like a couple months ago. Power, if you want to put the link to my Concord video, if you want to put the link to mine and Sean's Concord video, I really appreciate that. But Concord failed for a multitude of reasons, not because it was quote unquote woke. That was one of the factors, but that was not. That wasn't the primary factor. Basically, it was the mediocre gameplay, the live service angle, the fact that you're charging $40, the fact that you're charging $40 for for an Overwatch game when it should have been free to play, the abhorrently bad character designs that nobody wanted to play, the behind the scenes ish with quote unquote the professor. Just so many problems behind the scenes. So many problems with this game. There have been multiple reasons why Concord didn't live up past 10 days. So, quote unquote woke is not one. Is maybe a factor, but it's too broad of a term. Specifically, there are multiple factors.
Type games. You can't, because it doesn't bring anything valuable to the table. The thing is, that wouldn't necessarily matter if Concord wasn't a $100 million product that supposedly took 8 years to make. And just a few weeks after it finally came out, the game gets shut down. Because Sony...
Or 400 million. That's what they're saying. It was rumored to be because at first it was 250 million. It was 250 million for the budget, but then there were further reports that it was possibly 400 million and took 8 years to develop.
Sony had made a product that the market didn't want yet again, and thus it was an unmitigated failure. Again, a lot of people like to claim that Concord failed because of contemporary politics. For me, it just seems more like the wrong product at the wrong time, which is kind of becoming a trend in the live service industry.
Did somebody say data? Speaking of data, which is the new gold.
Wrong product, wrong time. I would say wrong place at the wrong time. But for me, Concord's failure comes down to multiple factors. Like I said, what was going on behind the scenes with Firewalk Studios, the fact that you have a live service shooter with a $400 price with a $40 price tag, which was a big mistake if you're trying to get into the free-to-play market. The kind of the way that they were planning to dish out content in form of vignettes, and just the mediocre gunplay, the mediocre, not bad, just very mediocre gameplay. And let's be honest here, the big elephant in the room that nobody wanted to address was how bad the character designs were. Nobody wanted to play as Amari. Nobody wanted to play as Baz, okay? I'm trying to summon Sean in here, okay? I know he's listening. He's listening right now.
Issues that come with big businesses that you don't know about and they don't care about you. Have 60% off your subscription. Big thank you to Incogni for sponsoring the channel.
Back to it. What comes next? Well, next is an interesting one from Electronic Arts, this time called Dragon Age the Veilguard. Because this is where I want to talk about realistic goals. Dragon Age Veilguard, in my opinion at least, is just a straight up bad game. It's a betrayal of the original Dragon Age atmosphere. It's boring, it's arcadey, it's super cringe all the way through, and it's just not worth playing. However, the game apparently sold 1.5 million copies. According to the preliminary third quarter financials published by EA themselves, the game, quote, engaged approximately 1.5 million players during the quarter, down nearly 50% from the company's expectations, end quote, which contributed to a downward revision of their revenue targets, which in turn led to a massive decrease in their share price. Here's the kicker. Dragon Age Veilguard isn't a live service product. It's purely single player. But it used to be a live service, getting rebooted in 2021, 6 years after development started, as if you could possibly waste any more resources on a title like this, because EA got cold feet. That's a big deal, at least in my opinion, because pretty much everyone who played or especially reviewed the game commented on the fact that it still kind of felt like a live service, which leaves us in a really odd situation where 1.5 million players is somehow colossally disappointing. In a vacuum, 1.5 million sales of practically anything would be amazing. But when you spend 9 years making it, essentially making it twice at that, if you think about the reboot, and God knows how much more on just a bloated marketing budget, suddenly an objectively successful product by itself becomes an alarming failure after wasting however many tens or hundreds of millions of dollars making it. It's funny, or sad maybe, because not all studios are equal in this regard. Despite what I may think of Naughty Dog on a personal level, in 2023, they actually canceled a live service project called Last of Us Online. To be completely honest, that's one of the few live service products out there that I would have wanted to see completed. But the point is, they rightly identified that allocating all of their resources to this one project would probably lead to disaster. From their official announcement, quote, in ramping up to full production, the massive scope of our ambition became clear. To release and support The Last of Us Online, we'd have to put all of our studio resources behind supporting post-launch content for years to come, severely impacting development on future single-player games. So we had two paths in front of us: become a solely live service game studio, or continue to focus on single-player narrative games that have defined Naughty Dog's heritage, end quote. Like it or not.
I'm looking forward to seeing how the reception is going to be for what was that game, Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet? I cannot believe I remember the full title of that. I am very interested to see what the reception is for Intergalactic, because I just don't. I don't know. It's got the stink of Druckmann. Okay, I've already covered a video about that, but yeah, this Intergalactic does not look promising to me whatsoever. And I'm already kind of soured after The Last of Us 2 anyway, so so I don't expect that this feels like Guardians of another attempt at Guardians of the Galaxy, Concord and such like that. Honestly, y'all gotta go back to Jack and Daxter. But yeah, I think it's I can't. But then again, that's like a monkey's paw right there, because do you want the current state of Naughty Dog screwing up Jack and Daxter? Do you really want the current state of Naughty Dog to screw up Jack and Daxter? Druckmann loves his Jada Pinkett's. Bam!
That is extremely self-aware, especially when you consider the fact that live service game failures have been outright crippling development studios left and right for the past couple of years. But let's tie everything together now, because the exact tipping point where live services become a liability rather than a predictable payday is the exact point in time where the AAA video game bubble officially popped. Yep. Why do I say that? Well, honestly, it's actually very simple. Anyone who pays attention to the mainstream video game market has likely felt the animosity building. Players are sick of the format. Selling something shitty and promising to fix it later just isn't a respectable business model. But even more importantly, selling something for $60 or $70 and then selling $80 or $100 worth of season passes, and micro DLC, and premium currency, as you slowly drag your feet and sort of make it a good product in
Uh-huh.
the span of 2 years. That's not any better at all.
That's not.
Compounding that problem is that these bloated, greedy companies have been monetizing so effectively with that strategy, their baseline profit levels are now completely unrealistic.
Now they're saying, and now they're trying. And what's going on right now is that they're trying to, say that with GTA 6, GTA 6 releasing Rockstar releasing GTA 6 for $100. That that should be the norm moving forward. No, absolutely not. You really want your industry to tank? You really want the AAA industry to just be a tank? You really want gaming to just be a luxury product at this point? Do not follow suit from Rockstar, because you know that they're going to try to pull that stuff. It almost feels like GTA 5 was an anomaly, basically. How to do it the right way, okay? It's just like you can't. Oh my god. Like, you can't go that route. You really can't go that route. Because you are doing the entire industry if you think following suit of GTA 6 and releasing your game for $100 is a good idea. And every big budget AAA game has to release for $100 as a base price. Absolutely not. Okay, sorry, continue.
Live services became effectively ubiquitous in the AAA video game market, and they've been making a whole lot more money releasing unfinished trash than they used to make when they were focusing on legitimate, deserving, and fully finished games. Now for the capstone, though. According to a report from Apillion by Matthew Ball, which is an investment and strategic advisory service, I guess, all the way down on page 216, I think, of the presentation, we find this, quote, in 2025, GTA 6's impact on industry playtime and spend will be mixed as it launches console only and severely cannibalizes hours/spend on other titles. Further down, but some game makers hope GTA 6 will be priced at $80 to $100, breaking the $70 barrier and helping $50 titles move up to $60, $60 to do $70, $70 to $80, etc. End quote. He goes on to talk about how prices have never been lower in real terms than they are today. There's a reason for that, and they should be this low because when you make the shift from physical to digital, and then you go to your own proprietary storefront and you harvest more of the revenue, you're basically earning more despite the fact that there's inflation. So there's no excuse for raising the prices of video games, is what I'm saying. But that's a whole separate video I've done.
Yes, there's no excuse.
I find this to be a perfect indication that the bubble has already popped. See,
there's no excuse to release your game at $70 to $80. Just the base title alone at $70 to $80. There's no excuse. In fact, hang on. I'm gonna double check something real quick. Let me check Play Asia. Okay, so Paradise, because I'm going to get this for PS5. Venus Vacation Prism is actually $55, just under shipping, with free shipping though. So it's about $55, close to $60. I feel like that should be just the standard should be $45 to $50, honestly. I mean, honestly, $40 to $50, honestly. The premium is $122, but you get a lot of this extra stuff, I guess. And then you get the collector's edition with $200, and you get full, Dakimakuras and such like that, body pillows and such like that. Something thing. Yeah. No, I'm getting the standard edition. So I'm getting the standard. I'm going to be getting the standard version because that is, because that has English subtitles, and I have to get the Asia version, so it has the English because it has English subtitles as well. So yeah, so I am going to we're playing Venus Vacation Prism on the channel. We will be playing that on the channel, Emerald. And like I said yesterday, if you guys didn't pay attention yesterday, I assume that the success of Ninja Gaiden 4 will probably determine if Koei Tecmo is ready to step back into the ring with Dead or Alive 7. Yeah, they're lacking in waifus. So, like, that should be... You only get 6 girls. You need to have the entire roster, in my humble opinion. You need to bring the entire roster from not only just the Dead or Alive games, the main fighting series, but also from Venus Vacation, the Venus Vacation titles. Y'all need to go full on with that. I'm just saying. So that's just my opinion. Anyway, continue.
GTA 6 costing $100 in a vacuum is most likely perfectly fine. A game of that scale with the Rockstar has, GTA 5, Red Dead 2, etc. Yeah, $100 might just be pennies per hour of entertainment, beating out most, if not all, other contemporary releases. However, the broader market, yeah, they do not deserve that money. Major gaming publishers have been releasing absolute garbage, often so bad it gets canceled, recalled, or shelved within months, as they over-monetize that garbage, and when faced with a situation where the business model of live service is faltering, raising the prices on your customers to make up the shortfall of your own habitual failure isn't the solution.
No,
it's like
not.
the Titanic, but imagine if the captain grabbed the wheel and just steered it full tilt right into the iceberg because he's too stupid to realize that the ice doesn't give a shit how fancy the rich people's boat is. The AAA gaming bubble already popped because they've been squeezing their audience with scumbag tactics and trash products for years with no backup plan. Remember, there's an imperative here from the shareholders that they continue to make more money every single quarter like clockwork without fail. More, never less, not even the same, has to be more or it's failure. And if they don't do that, they get removed as leadership, right? That's when you see the CEO get purged or a new CTO or whatever, right? The board of directors becomes unhappy. But what happens when you can't make more money? Because no one wants what you're making, and what you were making was already so hyper calibrated to steal as much as you could get from the customers without deserving that money because you didn't make something that actually deserved the price tag. No version of reputable game ever will make up the difference to that.
Exactly.
That's how a bubble pops, obviously, because you can't go up anymore. You destroyed your own credibility to a degree where you can only go down. Everyone's felt what I'm talking about here, if I'm totally honest with you.
Hell yeah.
Games are just shit nowadays. Yeah, there's highlights, good ones here and there, and indie games that go above and beyond. Absolutely, for sure. But the AAA video game market is rightfully falling apart, in my view, because they just don't do good work anymore. They got lazy, they got greedy, they prioritize marketing and live service products above innovation, and it's completely disconnected. It's a bunch of people in suits that think like, oh, if we change the price tag, it's going to fix the problem where we're only getting 1.5 million copies sold. No, make a good game. Don't make cartoony, arcadey garbage that betrays the franchise history. Like, stop. It's insane to me. Eventually, the cycle comes crashing down on their heads, which I believe is now imminently happening, especially if they try to raise the prices. That is the most comedic thing about all of this. Raising prices on the same live service slop that the community is already openly rejecting doesn't save your business. It accelerates the pop of the bubble, which I think is here, and I'm not even slightly sad about it. Major publishers many years ago.
I'm not sad either. I'm not sad either. You know, it's like that old joke of me, you get what you deserve. I'm not sad either. Because do I say that, yes, people talk us like, oh, there's going to be a gaming crash. It's like, on the AAA scale, oh yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to be imminent. However, I think with the AA and indie and smaller titles, we might see a renaissance. I think we might see a bigger renaissance period, you know? where they're kind of like, you guys got to go smaller, to where it's like the AAA industry, y'all got to go smaller budget. Take the budget that you would make, take that $400 million budget you did for Concord, or $200 million. You can make a bunch of really successful smaller scale titles with that amount of budget, in my humble opinion. You can really make a bunch of smaller scale titles, smaller scale, like AA level titles with that kind of budget, multiple ones. Let that innovate. Let the innovation, bring back the innovation. Bring back, willing to try out different things. Don't make the same. You can argue, don't make the same thing over and over again. And we're seeing that now, because if it's not, Call of Duty, it's a third person over the shoulder action game or Souls-like, It's that's what I'm trying to say. So, but the AAA bubble, yeah, it's burst, and the crash is just inevitable at this point, because you can't continue on with this trajectory. You can't continue on. It's not sustainable anymore. The live service, I do think that the live service bubble has definitely burst. Now, there are some outliers, of course. Marvel Rivals, for example, huge successes. Some of the huge successes from huge successes that we've seen before, they're still going. Yeah, they're still going strong. Yes, but for newer live service titles, you got to learn. You got to learn not to fall into that trap, and understand that the live service angle, not everybody's going to be interested in that. People probably want more, into the premium, more premium and long-lasting, titles, regardless if it is single player or multiplayer. So,
that they could sell half-finished bullshit and monetize it every step of the way. Over time, people got sick of it. The market is crowded. The innovation is gone, and people are much more risk-averse when it comes to buying something that might, with big air quotes, get better over time. Customer mentality changes. It's an ebb and flow, right? There's tides there. But what does not change are the greedy expectations of publishing companies, leaving them in a situation of their own design, by the way, where they can't make the money that they're expected to make, which leads inexorably to a crash. The AAA gaming bubble, as a result of live service fixation, has popped. That's it. If you want to support the channel, check out the links down below. Video sponsor, of course.
Great video. Yeah, the bubble has burst. The bubble has popped, guys. What time is it right now? It's now 34. Okay, so we will be able to. This will be the last 25 minutes, guys. This is the last 25 minutes. Let's go ahead and just bring it. Let's go ahead and just bring it all back here. I'm going to turn the music back up, and we are going to continue this. So I cleaned up the anatomy. for the most part, and we're going to start with. So I cleaned up the anatomy, and we're going to go ahead and start with, adding the clothing and everything like that. Probably should have done it much quicker, in my humble opinion, but it is what it is. So. Thank you guys so much. Smack that like button and make it jiggle, guys. I really appreciate that. Right, and the thing is that especially if you're trying to go for the $100 price tag, you're basically turning gaming into a luxury thing, when gaming should always be accessible to no matter whatever class, no matter whatever living class you're in. Gaming has always been accessible, no matter what. Going this $100 route for every, like, especially every big budget title, is just turning gaming into a luxury commodity now. Instead of, you know, a hobby, instead of an accessible hobby that everybody's been able to get into for decades. And sometimes I do wonder that, you know, maybe sometimes I do wonder that, you know, what would happen if gaming didn't become mainstream? It does wonder what would have happened if it didn't become mainstream, you know? If it stayed as more, and you could probably argue the same thing with just nerd spaces in general. You know, what if you know, nerddom or geekdom didn't become mainstream? You always wonder about that, though. You know, what do I want to see gaming to be? I see want gaming to be just. If anything, I just want to go back to the 6th and 7th gen. You know, to kind of go back to that mindset, to go back to that, you know, to go back to that mindset of being, you know, focused on 6th and kind of that style with the 6th and 7th gen titles, where we've had, you know, AAA titles just come out the wazoo, and they were great, though. But then again, that was at a time where, you know, we had to work with the limited technology. You know, they had to work with limited technology. That's how it allowed them to be much more innovative. It allowed them to be, you know, a lot more games at that time. You know what I mean? It's an interesting thing. It's interesting to say the least. But I do want to see the industry get better. I do want to see the industry, you know, really come back stronger than this. Come back, you know, not making those same mistakes. But it's just the way it is now. It's just not how to approach it, you know? That's my opinion. Oh, shoot. Ah! Sorry, one second. Anyway, there we go. Planned obsolescence is popular these days, yeah. Yeah, so I saw DS9, yeah, the lights, the idea off there. Yeah, if you had the good idea off the computer, so yeah, if you had a good idea, you had an idea for a title, go for it. You know, work with the technology you had, and you're able to create something that was very fun and innovative. Like, I don't think I'm at the point. I think I'm at the point. I don't know if you guys kind of feel that same way, but I'm at that point where graphics just don't impress me anymore. It really doesn't. I don't know if you guys feel that same way. Let me know in the comments, but graphics, especially cutting edge graphics, just doesn't wow me anymore. I feel like you've seen it all at this point, you know? You've seen it all at this point, you know? People will probably attach themselves more to art styles, you know? Going for an art style, going for a visual style, you know? Instead of trying to focus so heavily on realism, you know, go for a style. Sometimes a lot of times it's just those. A lot of the more stylized games, they actually end up aging better. They age much better as technology, you know. I mean, if you want to go the realism, and I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm saying if you want to go for realism, then definitely go for it. It's just understand that people are at a point where just realism just isn't. It's not going to wow people as much. You know, it's not a strong selling point. But gameplay, story is going to top. You know. Ultimately, gameplay is going to what matters the most. It's gameplay is king, you know. Gameplay is king, you know. And I think it always will be. It always should be king. Mm-hmm. It's an interesting time we're in. I do wonder about this now. Now here's the thing. As I thought about this, because we're gonna see a lot more. You know, we're gonna see a lot more like developer meltdowns this year, right? We're gonna see a whole lot more of that. And I was thinking to myself, man, maybe we. I was like. I work in the city. So I'm like, maybe I should do some videos on looking at GDC, because GDC is in March, the Game Developers Conference in March, and it's at the Makini Center in San Francisco. So I was like, maybe I should go down there and see what's going on. Maybe make some videos over it. I think it'll be very interesting to see. To walk around, because I usually see a lot of those developers walk around all over the place, all over Market Street, Yerba Buena Park. So it's very interesting too. So definitely that's something to keep in mind, especially if they do another GD Scream. If they do another GD Scream, I'm recording that. I am recording that. I'm going to be a front and center to record that. If they do another GD Scream, I'm recording that bitch. I'm just saying. If they do another GD Scream, I'm covering that. I'm covering that ish. You ain't getting away from me. I missed out my last time. I ain't regretting it again. Because this was stupid. Because that was stupid back then. It's stupid now. I also remember the whole GD Scream was when a bunch of developers at GDC went to Yerba Buena Park, and they did a convulsive scream in front of everybody, and I was like, "This is right." And I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna go down there and just record it, because yeah, the tech industry is not." The tech industry is definitely not in a. Tech industry is in an interesting spot. I think the whole tech sector is a very interesting spot right now. Mm-hmm. This was a kind of funny thing. I think it was Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Yeah, I was watching. Kyle was streaming on Saturday, and he was streaming a bunch of old PlayStation 2 commercials, and there were a lot of PS2 commercials that I never saw that were just like weird as heck to me. Exploded over 10%. Oh my goodness. (2013 to 2016 became one says no. I would say 2000. I would say 2000 to 20. I want to say 2000 to like 2013. Yeah, maybe 2000 to like 2016. I guess was I think the peak. I'm serious. I think 2000 to was the true peak in my humble opinion. In my humble opinion. Of course. I call the sixth generation the golden age. Sixth generation is the golden age to me. And I mean legitimately the golden age. I recommend you watch Luis Roseman if you want to look at more companies being anti-consumer and influencers being shills for said companies. Oh yeah. Stellar Blade would have been right at home in the, I want to say, early 2000s. Honestly, I think Stellar Blade would have been right at home in the early 2000s. I think it probably would have been a Game of the Year nominee too. I'm serious. I'm serious. I think it probably would have been a Game of the Year nominee as well back then. Fourth to sixth of the golden age, yeah. I consider the seventh. I consider the seventh gen basically the Silver Age. The Silver Age. Because they were still firing on. Because say what you will about how bad the PS3's launch was, it was still firing on all cylinders. You know, that's, you know, from 2005 to 2012. 13, yeah. 2005, 2000, yeah, from like 2005 to 2012. For those 7 years, I consider it the Silver Age. And a good Silver Age though. Silver Age. Because they still put out bangers. Because you still had plenty of bangers on PS3. The 360 was freaking dominant back then. It was heat. Like legit heat. Legit heat. Yeah, Microsoft was at its peak during the 360 era. It was at its peak. But then again, I've always said that in the OG, with the OG Xbox, Microsoft had something to prove. They were the bad boys. But the industry with the OG Xbox and such, like they had something to prove. Like, to the point where they're just becoming a third party. They're basically just becoming a third party developer at this point. They're porting a lot of their first party titles to, you know, of course, PC would be a Game Pass, but also to PS5. And, you know, Sony right now, I think they've gotten too big for their britches. I'm serious. I think Sony has gotten too big, and they probably need to be humbled more. I think Sony needs to be humbled more because they are. I think Sony really needs to take some humble pie at this point because they've gotten way too big, and you know they've cornerstoned the console market at this point to the point where there's no competition, where it feels like there's no competition. And that shouldn't. Let alone the AAA industry. I don't think the industry thrives off competition. I agree. I believe that the industry thrives off competition because take the Xbox 360 at its peak, and then take Sony at its peak, basically. Take Microsoft at its peak, Sony at its peak, and Nintendo at its peak. Now, granted, Nintendo's an outlier because they've been doing their own thing pretty much ever since. And you know, time will tell. We'll see how the Switch 2 comes out. We'll see how well the Switch 2 Well, the Switch 2 will do well, but we'll see if it really gets to. The Switch 2 is going to be a major step up. It'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting because the Switch was such a huge success, a major success for them. So Switch 2 is going to definitely be a big success for them as well. So. But some people were complaining that. What I found interesting about the Switch 2 was that people were complaining that the graphical processor of the Switch 2 will now rival that of the PS4. And people were like complaining about that. People were just like, I'm like, I'm sorry. To have a Nintendo console that could rival that of even a last gen console from Sony and Microsoft, I think that's a good thing. I legitimately think that's a good thing. Because it's like Nintendo, they're doing their own thing. They're saying innovative, but they're understanding the times and such. They need to, they want the Switch 2 to be a much better system. And if it's rivaling that of a PS4, I think that's a major plus. Now, Nintendo, they're going to have those great games, though. Nintendo is still going to have those fantastic. Nintendo's going to have those bangers for Switch 2. So they're going to have the absolute bangers, man. I understand, Jay. I was just saying, think about a time where the 360 and PS4 was put them in the same generation, put them in that same period, and I do think the industry probably would be booming, legitimately, it would be popular than ever. I guess I don't know. The Microsoft fumbled so badly with the Xbox One launch. They fumbled so badly with it because it prioritized being a TV platform than being a legit gaming platform, and it's hurt them ever since. I do think the Xbox One launch really hurt Microsoft ever since, and they haven't been able to fully recover from it. Man, I am really, really, really talking. Oh, God. Let's see. Sky's getting there. Sky is definitely getting there. Skyla is definitely getting there. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. And that's the other thing. Because when everybody had a problem with Sony not being, anti-game preservation, Microsoft swooped in and was swooped in with their re-release, with their backwards compatibility. They were all in for game preservation, basically. Back during the Xbox One with the backwards compatibility. I think that was one of the best decisions they could have ever made. Was make their games backwards compatible. I don't know. Yeah, but they wanted that always online thing, and that was on its way out. By the way, the always online thing was on its way out around that time. It was on its way out, and people were getting fed up and sick with it. A lot of the big budget PS3 titles and 360 titles around 2011, 2012 were going for that always online. No, that's not how. Or where you had to have not always online, but they had to have an online pass. People were really sick of the online passes back in the day. People were really, really sick of online passes back in the day. That is a guaranteed. People were sick quickly of the online passes back in the day. Yeah. And they tried. I think this the whole always online thing with the 360 or with the Xbox One was basically the capstone. Just kind of capped it. Basically, it's like, okay, you can't. Okay, it's like, okay, we can't do this. No, you can't do this. But no, always online is what's hurt. Always online is another factor that's hurting Ubisoft right now. The always online experience, especially with always online single player titles, is hurting. It was hurting Ubisoft. I think it still is hurting them. Like if it's a multiplayer, if it's always online, then yeah, that makes sense. But an always online single player title, I will never ever understand the justification for that whatsoever. I will never understand that justification. It's not justified at all. Yeah, that was the other thing. During the 7th gen, PSN and Xbox Live were free. You know, it still is on PC, but now Sony's pulling some big. Sony's pulling some bull honky with Sony's pulling some bull honky with the always on with their PSN requirements for PC games. You know. It's a load of malarkey, you know. A little buffoonery going on here, man. Load of bologna sauces. That really, like that whole PSN requirement last year really did hurt Helldivers 2, and it hurt a lot of PS games, because with that PSN requirement, that meant that a lot of games cannot be released in certain regions across the world, because a lot of regions don't have PSN. Are not able to gain access to PSN, you know? So they have to go through other means to kind of play like Helldivers 2 or any other kind of Sony released title. It's like, that's why I made my stance clear. It's like I am all in for getting Stellar Blade on PC, but if it has to be a PSN requirement. But if it's a PSN requirement for Stellar Blade on PC, I'm not getting it, period. We're not doing this PSN requirement, okay? Like, already got enough, like most people, like, on top of that, most people have enough launchers, most gamers on PC have enough, like, launchers as it is, like Steam is a primary launcher, but you also have Epic Games. You have, like, even the gacha games that I play that have their own specific launchers. Like Nikkei has its own launcher. DFL 2 has its own launcher because it's not on Steam yet, or at least not available on Steam yet. Like, a lot of gacha games that aren't on Steam usually have their own proprietary launchers. Remember when Rockstar had its own launcher at the time. Blizzard had its own launcher at the time. Yes. Difficulty knows what I'm talking about. To install another launcher, like, just to play it, like, it's just being on PC. I was like, I've been kind of a little adamant on having I've been a little adamant on wanting to play a Hoyoverse game on PC just because it's not on Steam. I have to use another launcher just to open up like Zenless. I would love the Zenless on Steam, or say Zenless or like Genshin was on Steam. Instead of trying to run its own launcher. I understand why, but it's just really tedious. It can get really tedious and annoying, especially if especially the bigger PC gamers who have to have all these multiple launchers on their PC. Like, yeah, it's annoying at times because like even EA is on Steam. Like, all Need for Speed titles are on Steam, but you still have to open up EA Play or whatever the EA launcher, even despite the fact the game is on Steam, you know. And it's like, that's just waste time. That's just a time waster, you know. I'm just saying. Anyway, I said enough. Thank you guys for tuning in to a very conversational Makini in the morning to kind of kick off the week. You guys been absolutely amazing, guys. Remember, smack that like button, make it jiggle. Smack that subscribe button, make it jiggle. Let me know what you guys think about Skyla's design, by the way. Let me know what you guys think about Skyla's redesign. I am going to have this ready my goal is Thursday. I want to have this ready by Thursday for Skyla's birthday. So, and then she'll debut on Makini Live the following Sunday. So, anyway, guys, smack that like button, make it jiggle. Smack that subscribe button, make it jiggle as well, guys. Thank you, everyone. You guys have been absolutely awesome. To everybody in the CSF Nation, of course.
To everyone in the cute, sexy, and fun nation, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. If you would like to see your name on the screen, join the CSF Nation for $1 a month. You get access to exclusive art drops that Makini drops every 2 months for all CSF Nation members. Again, we would like to thank you for your incredible support. CSF Nation for life. Arigato.
Absolutely, guys. Anyway, guys, I will see you all next time. I'm Makini90, artist and illustrator, and have a great rest of your Monday. Until then, stay cute, stay sexy, have fun, take care, much love. Never apologize for wanting attractive women in your media, especially in your video games. And yes, Power, I did see that. That has been over the headlines. Rest in peace to DJ Unk. You probably remember him from his track Walk It Out. Also, rest in peace to not only David Lynch, but Power knows Project Pat's son passed away as well at 21 years old. I remember he was gunned down. Two-step, yes, in two-step. So yeah, but anyway, guys, never apologize for wanting attractive women in your media, especially in video games. And above all else, never stop drawing. We're going to end the show with one more 7-day forecast, and then we're out. So until then, I love y'all. Peace.
Good morning, CSF Nation. We hope you've had a wonderful start of the new year for 2025. It is the last week of January as this Saturday begins the month of hearts. That is February. Hopefully, temperatures will start to, well, not just a little bit, but until then, we do have much more cooler temperatures coming our way this week. Also, be sure don't forget to mention my song. Happy Lunar New Year to all of our snakes. May you get fortune and plenty of fortune and good luck throughout this year. There'll be plenty of events going on throughout the CSF Nation to celebrate the Lunar New Year, and we will get more into that in this week's 7-day forecast, sponsored by Written Whole Foods. This week, we'll get off to another cold and windy start. Temperatures, especially on Monday, will get up to the upper 50s by the afternoon. The Hollenberg will be in the lower 60s by the evening. The frost advisory from last week returns once again this week and will begin from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. affecting Palmetto Valley, the shoreline along Ados Bay of Pacific City, and Lineart Hills close to Royale. That morning chill will be repeated throughout this week. There will also be a freezer watch specifically on Thursday. You guys know what to do before you begin your morning commute this week, so I don't need to tell y'all twice. Now, this week we'll see increasing clouds and cloud cover starting on Thursday, and plenty of clouds throughout the CSF Nation on Friday, bringing more chill temperatures as well as possible wet conditions as we head into the first day of February on Saturday. Now, of course, one more thing to add is Wednesday, the beginning of the Lunar New Year. So, of course, there's the fortune for all of our snakes out there throughout 2025. There will be Lunar New Year events beginning on Wednesday with temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s and lows to the mid to upper 40s. And that concludes this week's 7-day forecast for January 26th through February 1st, and sponsored by Griffin Whole Foods. Fresh produce and low prices that make you roar. I am Marisa Tavi, producer and weather girl from Makini in the morning, and we would like to wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Until next time, goodbye. Makini in the Morning is filmed before a live studio audience at Makini Studios in Arcadia Village's South Tower, right here in Pacific City. To be a part of the next Makini Morning Nurse audience, all you have to do is visit youtube.com/Makini90 or call 765-9077 toll free. Makini in the Morning is produced by Silver Night Productions with Makini Draws Productions in association with Channel 90 Television and is distributed by CSF CSF Nation Domestic Television Distribution.